Coal industry officials say if the EPA's power plant rule remains in effect, it will force the closure of all coal-fired power plants in the state. Eyewitness News reporter Bob Aaron explains what West Virginia's Attorney General is going to do.
The power plant rule would force power plants fueled by coal or natural gas to capture smokestack emissions using currently unworkable technologies or shut down. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia refused Friday to block the rule, noting it appears to be within the EPA's wheelhouse to set emission limits that would reduce pollution by causing the regulated source to operate more cleanly. West Virginia Coal Association President Chris Hamilton says it will force the state's remaining coal-fired plants to close.
If it goes against them, then it effectively will curb coal production within our state and coal consumption within our state.
West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey is now asking the U.S. Supreme Court to issue an emergency stay on the implementation of the rule. Morrisey contends this rule strips the states of important discretion while using technologies that don't work in the real world.
We've argued repeatedly, and we've prevailed at the U.S. Supreme Court, that the federal government doesn't have the power to remake the entirety of the electricity grid without the specific authority from Congress. We think that's why this regulation will also fail at the U.S. Supreme Court.
Environmental groups hailed the appeals court ruling, saying the court recognized the EPA's legal responsibility to control harmful pollution, including greenhouse gas emissions. That EPA power plant rule was announced back in April. It would require many coal-fired power plants to cut 90% of their carbon emissions, or at least be ready to do that, within 8 years, or shut down. With the rule still in effect, the coal industry claims the real deadline for power producers is much shorter because of advanced approvals that are needed.
Oh, it's an unrealistic deadline. You have to make those decisions not 8 years from now, but within the next 24 months. You have to have a plan that's submitted and adopted by your state.
Morrisey and more than 24 states contend that the EPA has overreached and made decisions that only Congress has the power to do. In Charleston, Bob Aaron, Eyewitness News.
Now, the EPA projects the rule will yield up to $370 billion in climate and health net benefits. Thanks so much for watching. Here's another video from Eyewitness News. Just click right here to subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit that bell notification to get the very latest.